So, I don't know if it's because of the video I posted and enough people got in touch with the POA and asked if they just randomly decided to do it, but whatever, it's good information. The Yaupon Cove POA put on their new Facebook page, as you can see here, Yaupon Cove POA meetings are held the third Sunday of each month at 2 p.m. Every Yaupon Cove homeowner is welcome. The meetings are at 125 East Oakley Drive. Good piece of information to have there. So if you do decide to go to one of these meetings, here's a couple of questions that you might want to ask. One is, how is Paul the POA president? Now, this has been brought to my attention. I had kind of forgot about it myself, but a couple of people brought it up. They said, who is this Paul person? How is he POA president? He wasn't on the ballot. So if memory serves me correctly, the ballot went out with Mike Chandler as the person running for POA president. From what I understand, a lot of people did not want Mike Chandler as POA president for whatever reason, so they decided on a write-in. So many people were instructed to write in the name Ron White. It's my understanding that Mike Chandler did not get enough votes to become POA president that Ron White did. But then Ron White declined the position. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but it's always been my understanding on elections that if there's only one person running, that they win by default. Again, I don't know how the POA election works there, but it's definitely a good question to ask. If Ron White backed out after the write-in and did not want to be POA president, wouldn't that make Mike Chandler president? And if it doesn't, how does it make Paul Triska president? Because if this is an elected position, how does somebody just get assigned to the position? This is a very good question. I've actually had several people bring this up, but don't bring it up to me. You need to bring this up to the POA. Because I'm not the POA, I can only voice the opinion out there, voice the question, and hopefully get the right people to ask the question to get the answer for the people that are asking me. Another person has got in touch with me and they said, hey, I've talked to the POA and they're telling me that the deed restrictions are valid. Haven't you seen the sign at the front that says that they're strictly enforced? Well, of course the POA is going to say that, whether they are or not. A good example would be, if you got caught doing something illegal, are you going to admit to it? A really simplified example is you get pulled over by a police officer for speeding. You're doing 10 miles over the speed limit. Are you going to say, hello, officer? Yeah, I was speeding. Would you let me out of it? Or, yeah, I was speeding. Could you give me my ticket? Or are you going to say, hello, officer, why did you pull me over today? And hope that maybe he don't write you a ticket. Most people are not going to willingly admit to doing something wrong. So the POA is the wrong people to ask. If you're going to ask about the deed restrictions, you need to talk to a lawyer. Because that is the only person that can look at the deed restrictions and say, yes, under the law, this is how it is. So if you have questions about the deed restrictions, do not ask the POA. Their opinion does not mean jack shit. You have to talk to a lawyer. Another thing that's come up, it kind of pissed me off too, is that at the front of the subdivision for years we've had a street light up there that lit up the entire subdivision. And last year, for a couple months, the bulb had burned out and it was a very dark intersection. And because of this, the POA president, Paul, decided he wanted to donate new LED power-saving lights to the POA to light up the POA sign. About this time, the bulb got replaced in the street light. And because the street light is so bright, it not only lit up the sign, but the whole intersection, it would not allow Paul's newly donated LED lights to light up the sign. So it is my understanding that Paul called the power company and said, hey, we don't want this street light anymore. Turn it off. The street light is still there last I looked. It's just not hooked up. So, what is everybody else's thoughts on that? Would you rather have the sign lit up to where you can see the words Yaupon Cove, or would you rather have the sign and the entire intersection lit up for safety? Because at night it is a very dark intersection. You go turning in there, you can't see if somebody's walking out of the subdivision. And what's going to happen if you run over a pedestrian that's walking? The pedestrian normally has the right of way. So if you accidentally run over somebody, not only do you have to live with the fact that you've now run over somebody and probably killed or mangled them, but you're probably going to go to jail for it because the pedestrian had the right of way. So it's my opinion that that light should still be on. If it makes the sign light not turn on, well, maybe we shouldn't be paying for electricity for two different things anyways. That's kind of stupid. I've had a few people ask me how they can stay up to date the easiest way with any information that I'm providing. The easiest way is for you to go to Facebook, assuming that you have Facebook, and search for Yaupon Cove Concerned Citizens. This is the Facebook page that I have for this. I post information on it as I get it, like these videos, random information that comes to mind. Different things like that. It's a good forum for you to come over, ask questions. Maybe I can get those questions answered for you in a video, in a comment. Either way, it's a good place for you to interact with other people that are concerned about these problems as well. Might even make a new friend. So come on over, like the page, leave a comment. Hopefully we can get something done about the many, many problems in our area.